I came here wanting to know and have a connection with Source, and the first dialogue pretty much answered that. But what came up was something that I've had for some time, and that was like bridging really my love for physical, my love for, you know, everything about this hotel, how it's built, driving here, the bridges, and, you know, beautiful cars, beautiful houses. And I just feel that I love the physical so much.
Yeah. Well, it's the furthest extension of that which is Source. The physical is the furthest extension of that which is Source. Source is right there, involved in every aspect of all of that wonderful stuff.
Yes, and I can feel that. But I feel that I have, it seems like it's a conundrum that I'm in, because you're asking me to think on a vibrational level, and that resonates very strongly with me. So I'm trying to resonate on a high physical level, like up the emotional scale, so that I can manifest my physical stuff.
What we're wanting to help you to bridge. So as you explore and define this beauty, the things that appeal to you most, and then you find ways to get on that high-flying disc so that you find resonance with all that you've gathered. When you begin realizing the physical manifestations, we want you to know that that non-physical energy, that Source that you were wanting to find a relationship with, is enjoying it right there with you. Your greatest feelings, moments and feelings of appreciation are because you have fashioned your vibration in such a way that Source is literally participating in the beauty of whatever you have your attention upon.
So that's really good news for me.
It is, isn't it?
Wow, that's awesome. Because I see beauty in so many things.
It's interesting, though, you defined the exact process that we took with all of you in order to bring you to that realization. In other words, when we first visit with our physical friends, you feel so physical, you weren't even really acknowledging so much the non-physical part of you. So we began defining that there's you and there's your inner being. And then we began explaining to you that when you were Source energy before you came into this body, and even though you're in this body, that Source energy part of you still remains. So now we're wanting to connect the physical and the non-physical together. In other words, we're wanting you to be aware of both aspects. And then we explain that out here on this leading edge, you subject yourself to more contrast than the Source within you does. But in doing so, you define with more specifics what you want, which is what the evolution of all species is about. As you, from your leading edge, hands in the clay, in the trenches of creation, come to new conclusions about what you want, you are redefining and causing an evolution of all that is physical, but not separating physical from non-physical, expanding physical, because you can't expand physical without non-physical's focus, assistance, perspective, involvement. So then we begin talking to you about your emotions, which helps you to feel how aligned or not aligned you are. And of course, the ultimate experience. This is how we would define the optimum physical understanding and experience. I know that I come from Source, and that Source still exists while I am here, and that I have constant access to Source. Sometimes I deviate from my Source perspective in order to explore contrast in a more definitive way, more than Source can do, really.
I have enough contrast.
And as I explore that contrast in a more definitive way, I launch new rockets of desire. As I launch those new rockets of desire, Source rides those rockets, becomes them, becomes fully involved in them, experiences the full vibrational realization of them, and holds steady in the vibrational frequency of that expansion. And then I, in my physical form, deliberately choose a disc that allows me vibrational resonance with my furthest expansion. And because I've experienced complete resonance, complete vibrational alignment, now source's realization and my realization are one. And that equals that appreciation that you were defining earlier. That's the whole picture.